Karamoja subregion, once known only for its agropastoralism, is on the verge of economic transformation thanks to its endowment with vast mineral resources. The region is positioning itself to attract investment in mining and its associated manufacturing industries. Investment in cement manufacturing is one of the visible signs of this economic transformation path.
As a district, of course, for us, one is creating a conducive environment. Recently, we have had a construction, I think it is ongoing, of a cement factory. The District 1 welcomed the business to the district. That is Sunbird factory for cement. 2, land. The district didn't give the land directly, but convinced the community to allow Sunbird, compensate them, and then establish the factory for making cement.
Sunbelt Mining is the pioneer investor in Moroto district. Sunbelt ventured into the region in 2018 in mining the high-value construction stone, marble. The Chinese investors came looking for an opportunity to invest in marble mining and approached Operation Wealth Creation for guidance.
When I reported Kampala, I was given some Chinese to move with to come to this region here. Reason being, they were looking for these white stones. So we came with them up to Moroto here, but we didn't come here in this particular point. We went through Nakiloro to that area of Nakabat where they're mining gold. So they went in, they were checking each and every stone. Then later on, at around 4 like that, we went back to town. They told us, now, can we move in another district where we can get this stone? So we moved with them up to Kabong, from Kabong to Loyoro. So they kept on breaking them and checking, and they could take some samples. We came back with them, went back with them to Kampala.
After moving around the region for 2 years, they finally identified the marble that they were looking for in Rupa Sub-County, Moroto District. The land on which the marble lies is communally owned. Therefore, they needed to negotiate with the community to acquire surface rights for mining.
So I came back here. Good enough, this land in Rupa is already formed by an association called Rukodet. Because land in Karamoja, there's no an individual who owns land here. This is a communal land. So we started negotiating with them. The problem was now on the price of this land here. Now my community thought this land here, they wanted to sell, that we wanted to buy the land. I told them, this land here, we don't want to buy it. These people want just let this land be leased. The investor is willing to pay you 1.8 billion shillings for this land. So the members came back, they contacted the community, they called us and said, now you can come now. So we came back, we met at the sub-county. The whole village was gathered in and we had to talk with them, and we told them the benefits that they're going to get once this factory is being put here, of which one of them was employment. After telling them that our youth within the villages here will be employed in this factory here. And it is true, our youth here are being employed here.
As part of the agreement, the community was paid 1.8 billion Uganda shillings for a 20-year lease of the land measuring 3.3 square kilometers. A 15-kilometer road to access the location of the mine was constructed by the investor. In addition, 2 dams were constructed to provide water to the marble factory, as well as the community. As part of the agreement, 5 students are given university scholarships every 5 years.
As I speak now, the first bunch of 5 doctors who qualified recently in medicines are out, and we have already taken again 5 for another 5 years. That was what was appended in the MOU.
The products that are being made in the factory include high-end tiles for bathrooms and kitchens, marble tables, as well as lime, which is used in the manufacturing of many products including paint and toothpaste. Investment in mining in Karamoja has been made possible by security of persons and property, the number one factor in President Yoweri Museveni's socio-economic transformation agenda.
By the way, the Chinese, by the time when they came in, that was after the disarmament. So there was total peace. All this movement, I was moving with them in the Kabong, where we never experienced any attacks or ambushes on the way. No, we never. So that enabled these Chinese to have that heart of saying, let us put something like this in this region. By the way, there was no power. After the launch of this factory here, that's when the president instructed the Minister of Energy. By then, it was Madam Kitutu, before she became the Minister for Karamoja. She was the Minister of Energy, and instructed her to pull in that power you see now coming all the way from Soroti up to here. So we have power here.
Operation Wealth Creation has played a bridging role in bringing investment to the Karamoja region.
OWS is a link to, because as I was negotiating with the community, I always told them I'm just a link between you and this investor. There's no you overcharging the investor, and there's no investor overdo. So up to now, I'm still the link between the community and this investor here. So there's a very big impact OWS really has already done by so warning these investors here, because most of the investors come here, even when somebody came in, when they were negotiating, they had to call me in, said, please, you have some idea about this. I went and sat with them, and I also did their negotiation. That's how you see that big factory coming up.
Sunbelt Mining had to adjust its initial plan of extraction and export by responding to His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni's directive that no Ugandan minerals are to be exported without adding value.
We came here with the main intention of producing only blocks of which they were going to be exported. But since the president couldn't allow exportation of raw materials, he had to make us build this factory, and that's how we came out with this factory. We produce marble slabs. Marble slabs come from these marble blocks. The slabs are the sheets you're seeing here. These are called slabs. We produce them the way they are, like this, and then we wait for customers' order. And then the customer will give us dimensions of how we should cut them. Either he will be needing something of this sheet like 2 meters by 60, then we have to cut according to what the customer has requested. Mostly these things, we produce them and then we wait for the customer's request. Then we shall cut. The lime also goes on order. What the customer asks for, it's what we produce. In a month, we can produce over 900 tons of lime. And if it is slabs, we produce over 500 square meters of slabs in a month.
The mining sector is becoming a major revenue source for the district, proving that socio-economic transformation in Karamoja is broader than the livestock economy.
Actually, as Moroto district, the most reliable source of revenue is the royalties, because at least that one we are sure. Every quarter we get our percentage. Now, of course, without royalties, I think a district may not perform very well, because the markets that are there are smaller markets. But royalties come in, and one of these days has started coming in time. Okay? Once in a while, okay, every quarter we have been getting 75 millions. Yeah? But of course, we expect improvement based on the returns. The more that goes out, the more we also get. But royalties always come. And we are very, very now comfortable with the Ministry of Energy for that.
Construction of the road infrastructure and availability of power have also played a critical role in making the region, which was once hard to access, easily accessible for investment.